Aloha, Steve Tobis here, and we just had one of the biggest swells of the year roll through here in Hawaii. It was opening day for a lot of the big wave surfing spots. We got out there and we got some great tow waves. So all these clips are my POV as the driver. I'm filming with the GoPro in my mouth, so it's kind of just shooting forward. And then I put a little voiceover on top of it to try to explain why I'm doing the things I'm doing and why I'm driving a certain way and where we're going and what's going on. There's some situations where things went well, and then there's a couple times where things didn't go so well, and we had to problem solve and kind of work our way around and navigate the situation as it unfolded. So definitely, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and thanks for checking out this video. Let's get into it. This was one of our first waves. This was a nice little size wave. Nothing too big, nothing too crazy, but just had a good shape. So all I'm trying to do here as a driver is just set up my rider to have a successful wave, trying to drop him right at the peak and then peel off to the shoulder so that I can get in position for a pickup. Once my rider's off the rope, I'm looking behind us to see what the following waves are going to be and who's on them, so I can make sure that my ski is out of the way and not messing up anyone behind. I see that wave kind of swings a little wide, so now I'm thinking I might have to get a pickup. So I want to give enough space in the whitewater there for my rider to go down and then have time to come back up so I don't overshoot him with the ski. At this point, I'm just kind of hanging back, sitting in between waves, waiting to see what happens, trying to find my rider. And as soon as I see them here, they pop up in the shoulder, so they made that whole wave, which was pretty sick. So now I'm hauling over to them to get on top of them. So here we declined to do a pickup, and really this was because we had a small little whitewater here. It would have been a little tight, but not that big of a deal. But really it would have just been a time thing, and we knew we had really clear water behind us, so it was no big deal for me to do a quick go around, get my rider on the sled, and we hammered back out. Had it been bigger sets behind us, or we knew we had more coming, then we definitely would have got the pickup to get out of there. Similar setup to the previous wave, just trying to set my rider in the right spot, get the ski off to the shoulder, and then turn back and set up for the recovery. Here I can see the wave broke a little bit cleaner, so I know that my rider most likely made this one, so I start cheating over to the shoulder, and there's my rider, and we're ready to go for a quick pickup. Putting our practice to work. This is something that I know if the rider has the board that he's going to want to jump on the sled. If there's no board, then that's where we'll go for a more direct rider recovery using the rescue ring or reaching down to try to pick him up. Really with all these, just trying to live that slow is smooth, smooth is fast, do what we need to do, get in, get out, and be able to ride more waves. This is a wave that started pretty clean and then got a little spicy at the end. So here I'm dropping the rider, everything's going smooth. I see there's a team behind us getting the next wave in the set. Just out of courtesy to my other riders, I try to set my ski a little bit deeper in the wave so that way I'm not running my jet pump through their wave while still maintaining responsibility for my rider who's on the wave in front of me. So here I'm just trying to put myself in position. I see that the wave swings wide, so I'm anticipating my rider could have gotten cleaned up here. So I know here my rider's being held down, and this is where your pickups get really tight and just split-second decisions can make the difference. So coming in, I know our pickup window's getting tight. I'm expecting to just get a rider, but we still have the board. We don't have time to get on the sled. I don't want him to get caught in the rope, so we just make the call to bail and go around. Now here's where things get tough, because as a driver, now I'm stuck in all this traffic on the inside. And all of these skis have 25 to 30 feet of tow rope behind them, as well as my ski. So we're trying to give everyone enough space that we can work. There's breaking water here. I don't want to suck up anyone else's rope, and I also don't want them to drive over my rope. I know my rider's still on the inside, but if I lose the ski, our day is done and my rider's not going to be in a great spot. So I'm just being patient. I know he has to take another wave or two on the head. Fortunately, we're a little more inside, so it's not that big of a deal. But you can hear here just the white water and how much is churning. The ski has no grip. I'm barely moving. And here I'm able to get my rider. He gives me the okay, which is a great feeling. But this is just an example of where split-second decisions can be the difference in picking your rider up and having to go around. This is just an example of time and experience with your rider. You know, we knew if it was bigger, we definitely would have bailed on the board and just got the rider, but it was still a size where we could hold on and it wasn't that big of a deal.
I never got around that lift, dude. That lift, oh no. That lift got me so good. Damn.
So here just kind of showing something that we do to be a little more comfortable on the ski. It's not the most comfortable to lay on a sled on top of a board while you're pounding out through whitewater. So a lot of times we'll just throw the board up in the gunnel of the jet ski. I'll stand outside of it to kind of hold everything in place. And then it just is a little more comfortable to ride back out through the whitewater. But it brought you up?
Yeah, but not right away.
That was a fucking bomb, dude.
I got destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never made around the lip or anything.
Okay.
You don't like that up. Now no more.
This is a wave that everything just kind of clicked and it was nice. So this is a good example of everything going right. I see there's a team behind us that's going to get the wave, so I know there's going to be a rider and a ski that's coming in back of us. I know there's a wave behind us, so as soon as my rider gets on the wave, I kind of just set up a little bit deeper and I prepare for a pickup if we need to. So I get the rescue ring out so that way we can be quick and fast. And now here I'm just kind of cruising. I can see I'm deeper than the next rider behind, so I'm not messing their wave up. I know that I have plenty of room if my rider goes down to go get them, and I can see on the shoulder that if they make it, there's nothing coming their way, so it's just going to be a nice, smooth, easy pickup. So here I'm just kind of putting myself in position where if my rider does go down, I'll be able to get them. And pretty soon, yeah, I see that they pop up. They made it all the way to the shoulder. It was a sick ride, so I go flying over to go grab them. When I get my rider, I can see there is a wave coming, but it's not going to break on us. So I put the bow of the ski facing the wave so I can make sure that the ski doesn't run over my rider as they're climbing on the sled. Everyone's on the sled, and we're ready to jam out and get some more waves. So at this point in our session, we've been waiting for probably like 20 or 30 minutes for a set to come through. Finally, something starts to show up and everyone's all eggy. They're all trying to get waves here. So our buddy Brett is on the other ski there. He's riding. And this is one where we wouldn't normally do this, but we all know each other. We've all rode with each other for a long time. So we kind of communicated between both skis that we were going to take the left. They were going to take the right. So I peel off. Now I know here the left at this spot can be pretty gnarly. Like there's a really good chance this wave is just gonna clamp and then we're gonna have a tough time getting back out. There's no channel to the left to work in. So I'm setting myself up and being prepared to go get a rider and then have to deal with driving through a bunch of whitewater to get the board. So here I'm just positioning the ski with enough time for my rider to pop up, but still have time to get him. And luckily this wave holds up for a long time, so we were just able to swing the ski around, rider jumps right on the sled, and we're out. Something that's really important that I want to share is there's not an absolute right or wrong way to do any of this. Really, the most important thing is getting out on the water with your partner, practicing in flat water, practicing in small waves, and then taking it and ramping your skills into bigger surf. If you've never tow surfed, if you've never drove a jet ski in waves, it's not a good idea to go out in 15-foot surf and try to figure it out. Start small, work your way up. A lot of this stuff are techniques and tactics that were taught to me by some really good and really experienced rescue drivers. And I've spent a lot of time in the water trying to hone these in and really dial in my skills to be able to push into bigger waves. I still have a lot to learn. I'm really excited every time I get to go ride with people who just have more experience and have more time on the throttle because I always learn something. So hopefully I can share some of these things with you. So definitely get out there, spend your time practicing in small waves, practice in flat water, and just work your way up. There's no shortcuts, there's no secrets. Remember, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Get out there and enjoy. Aloha.